So I'm going to start Illustrator up again. You can do some research into NASA SEALs. You can look at those. Spend some time and make some nice. I've had some really fun ones in the past. It can be kind of comical. I've had students do aliens, and things like that. I do things kind of boring, but hey, it's okay. So again, I'm mostly going to start. So what I want to do is I want to kind of have a triangle shape that goes kind of around, okay, in kind of a circle. So to do that, again, I'm just going to use my pen tool, and I'm going to make triangle shapes. And the reason why is all I'm going to do is kind of just click, 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 click. Now again, don't click on the circle again. I'm going to click, 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 and I'm going to do one more. Don't click on the point. It'll think you want to remove it. Click, 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 click. So all I did was make 3 triangles, simply clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking. So all I did was make 3 triangles. And the purpose of this is, again, I'm going to fill these in with a gradient or a color of some kind. And then I'm going to use a clipping mask to cut this out. This part out here you're not even going to see. It's going to be kind of a round, kind of there. And in fact, I'm not going to use any stroke. I'm going to kind of remove the stroke on these. And then just fill them in with a color. Remember, this is a sunset on Mars. I'm making a sunset on Mars. Sunset on Mars. Sunset on Mars. Oops. What a nice pastel. Or even green. Martians could be green, right? No, I guess green is not good. Then blue's better. Then I'm going to duplicate these shapes and flip them over. If you remember how to copy and flip them over, it's easy to copy and flip by using the object transform reflect. Remember doing that with the rocket ship and doing the fins on the rocket ship? And if you do object transform reflect, you can say copy, and then you can move them over. Then of course I don't want it to be quite like this color. I'm going to actually change the color so they flip around a little bit. Oh no, let's do that, and then let's do, there we go, kaleidoscope. So that's kind of my sunset and my circle. Think of it as a circle like I drew on the board, right? There'll be a circle that kind of covers that up. Then let's make a landscape on the bottom. I'm just going to use a rectangle and make myself a Martian landscape. Make it kind of big. What kind of Martian landscape do we want? Think of colors of what would the landscape of the Martian be. The Martian landscape. Maybe put a texture in there, right? Remember I showed you how to make textures? We use just like the texture we put on the fruit, right? Remember we made little circles. So I might make a little texture to put on my landscape. And of course there's all kinds of theories of aliens on Mars, so you might want to put an alien in there. So I'm going to use a little texture. If you remember how to make the texture, I just remember when we did it with the fruit, I just drew some dots, and then I went underneath the pattern options, and made myself a, that's transparency. Where's the pattern? So I made a pattern, and then I apply it to my object. There we go. If you don't want a white background with the pattern, I could have done it. So here's a problem, and this is how the solution we're going to learn. Here's a problem. Let's learn a solution. Do you remember from last class how we were talking about the appearance window, right? Remember the appearance window? Remember the appearance window? So what was the advantage of the appearance window last class? Remember we were putting type in there, and then I said, oh, you could put another color over top of another object. Do you remember doing that? So what if I wanted to put the texture over top of this orange that I have right now, right? I have this orange color, and I want to put a texture over there. I can actually make a new fill in the appearance window, a new fill, and then apply the texture to that, and it'll be over top. Yes?
How did you mirror the colors again?
How did I mirror the
colors, like the shapes?
If you make a shape,
Oh, alright, never mind. Thank you.
whoosh. Oh, you got it? I use transform. So again, here, look at this problem and look at the solution. Here's a problem. Look at the problem, and here's the solution. Let me delete this for now. Okay, again, I made a bunch of circles. Here we go. I made a bunch of circles, and I made a texture. Here it is. But when I fill in the texture, it puts white there because I'm filling in with the texture. But what if I wanted the original color, in this case the orange, and the texture over top of it? Well, the solution to doing that is to use the appearance window. Remember we were using the appearance window last class. The solution then is to use more than one fill. Remember last class we were using more than one fill for the gradient on the type. So go to the appearance window, make a new fill. So select your, I want the texture over top of the orange. Go to the appearance window, make a new fill. Make a new fill, which is this option right here, new fill, and then fill that new fill in with the texture, and now the texture will be over top of the orange because I have two fills. I have an orange fill and a texture fill, and it puts them together. Does that make sense? The clipping mask. So right now, it was easy for us to make things that are square, right? They're square. Make things in triangles, that's easy. Okay, but now we want this to be an oval shape. Hey, this is my oval seal. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ellipse tool, and I'm going to make an ellipse over top of this. So here we go. You're going to take and make the ellipse tool. I'm going to put my cursor right in the middle here, right in the middle, where they all kind of intersect right there. I'm going to hold down the Option key on the keyboard, and I'm going to click with my left mouse, and I'm going to drag and hold down my Shift key to make a perfect circle. There we go, here we go. Kind of all the way out to the edge. And let's fill it in with a plain. It doesn't matter what kind of color you fill it in with, but let's fill it in with a plain color so we can see it. Color doesn't matter at this point. Color doesn't matter. So if you look at this image right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something called a clipping mask. What the clipping mask will do is it will hide everything outside the object, and what you'll be left is what's inside the object. Okay? So we're going to hide all that stuff. To do that, I'm going to select everything. I'm going to select all. Select all. Select everything. Make sure the shape you want to use for the clipping mask is on top. Hence, it was the last thing I made, right? So it's going to be on top. But just make sure it's on top, right? It's in the same layer too, because you might be using multiple layers, right? Same layer on top. To make the clipping mask, we go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. Object, Clipping Mask, Make. And this is what you're left with. Everything that was outside the circle is hidden. Everything that's inside the circle is shown. Okay? So that's how you can get kind of a, it was easy. Could you imagine trying to draw this triangle with a curve here, right? Draw this triangle with the curve there. That would have been too much work. That's why it was quicker and easier to do it with thinking ahead, right? Okay, let's put our text around the outside, and the last thing we'll do is we'll draw our space shuttle. Did everybody get it to work? Resume here. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. So, in this case, I'm going to make 4 circles. I'm going to have no fill, but a stroke. I'm going to make a black stroke, and I'm going to make it kind of thick, maybe like a 4. So again, no fill, but a nice thick stroke. I'm going to click in the middle again to make a perfect circle from the middle out. You hold down the Option key on the keyboard, and then start drawing, and then hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to make one that goes kind of right here. I'm going to go all the way out to the outside. Boom. There's one. I'm going to make another one. Here we go. I'm going to hold down the Option key on the keyboard again. I'm drawing from the center out. Option, click and drag. This one will be for one of the texts. This will be from the Mission from Mars text that goes around the top. Boom. This doesn't have to be too thick. We can make this thinner if you want. Okay, so I haven't really chosen a font yet or any of that stuff, but I'm going to go to my text tool. And if you remember from last class, we downloaded some fonts that I want to use, and I think I had a cool font. So before I even start drawing with the text tool, and I'm going to do text along a path. See how it says type on a path? See it right here? Type on a path. I'm going to choose type on a path. I'm going to go to the character. If you don't see the character window, it's under window, character, type character. Window type character. In the window type character, you can choose your font before you even click. And I think I downloaded a font last class. Where was it? Let's see where I had. Oh, here it is. This one, Transformers Movie. That looks kind of cool. I got Transformers Movie. I'm gonna choose a little larger type, maybe 36. So again, choose a font, choose some type. I have a circle right here. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have my text follow this circle that I've made. To do that, I'm going to think about where I want my text to start, right? I want it to say Mission to Mars, kind of like this, Mission to Mars going across the top right here. So I'm going to kind of click here. You can move it after you start typing. You're not limited, but I'm going to click right along that line. Make sure your line is selected or your path is selected. Click along the line. You'll notice the I bar starts flashing. And the stroke went invisible, right? Remember I told you the color will be invisible. And then I'm going to type in Mission to Mars. There we go. Mission to Mars. Don't worry if it doesn't. We can move it around the circle. I will show you how to move it around the circle in a minute. To get your text to move along the path, I think you can use the white one or the black one. I'm not really sure. But once you choose a selection tool, notice that the text will have these two little dots here, or these lines here. Okay, one of them is kind of a starting point, and the other one's kind of the moving point. And if you put your cursor over, nope, not that one. Don't move this one, whatever you do. This is kind of like the starting point. The one you want to, there's one of them you want to move, and oh, don't want to do that. It's kind of hard. It thinks I want to do a thing. You want to grab the line. Don't grab this little square. Try and grab the line itself, and then you can move it. There's like a little line. Don't grab the square thing. Grab the line. And you know, if you want to put so you know exactly, and we haven't done this yet. Next lesson, next week we're going to start doing columns of text and aligning things. If you want to align things evenly that you're not really sure, what you can do is you can bring up rulers under View Rulers, Show Rulers. View Rulers, Show Rulers. If you bring up rulers, you'll notice it puts these numbers up here at the top and on the left side, top and left side. And if you put your cursor inside the ruler, you can hold your left mouse down and drag down what's called a guideline. And this guideline can be used to line things up. As you can see, it's just a little bit off. Now this guideline is invisible. It's not something visible. It's visible when you're seeing it, but when you save the file, it doesn't show up. It's just a way to help you guide things. And so if you put a guideline there, it will make it easier for you to try and get the text to be perfectly on this side and this side. Okay, again, how did I make a guideline? Guideline is under View, Rulers, Show Rulers. Then put your cursor inside the ruler up here, hold the left mouse down and drag down, and it'll make what's called a guideline. And you can use that to help you align things. If you don't want the guideline anymore, you can actually click on it and hit delete and it'll go away. They're deletable too. If that's a word. Is deletable a word? I guess deletable is a word. Let's talk about spreading our characters out. One of the things about using text along a path is it's nice and aligned, but now everything's so tight. This word mission is very tight. Everything's very tight. If I go into my character window here, I can actually add to the tracking, or also called the letter spacing right here. And I'm going to increase that by using a higher number. Again, under character, there's one that says tracking. In there, you can actually increase the space between the letters. Okay, and you can actually dial that in. See how I'm dialing? Notice how the space between the letters is getting bigger. Oh, but now I actually have to adjust my spacing again, and I'm going to have to go back. There we go. So again, if your letters are tight and you want to adjust the spacing between the letters, it's called tracking. It's right here. Okay. Did you see that? I need to make a circle that's bigger to get the letters to go inside. So I'm going to kind of guess. We can adjust the size after we make it. So again, you want to kind of think about it. We can maybe even drag a letter around if we want to try and give us kind of the spacing. So you might want to, we could cheat a little bit and maybe use this as a guide. Yeah, you want it to be kind of outside a little bit. So I'm going to make a circle. Here we go. I'm going to make a circle. Starts from the middle out. And it's going to be kind of to the edge of these numbers. These letters right there. Again, no fill and just a stroke is fine. So I want it to be kind of the edge of the top up here, because they're going to go inside. This is a USA, and then we'll have Columbia over there. Do you see the circle I made and why I made it the size I made it? Okay. So now we're going to try and put the letters inside the circle. Inside the circle. The first ones were outside, inside. So here we go. Sometimes it's not that easy. So it might take a couple options. So let's use our text tool again. It should still have the same characteristics of the last text that we used. And then I'm going to click along the path. Again, we want it to go this way. We're going to go this way. And so I think we should, let me think of how I'm going to do this. I don't know if I should start on this side or this side. Let's try this side. Oh, notice how it jumped up there. Did you see that? Yeah. Let me try again. Let me try and click over here. Yeah, it's always going to start at the top, isn't it? Let's see what we write USA. No, see, I got the wrong tool. That's the wrong tool. Wrong tool. We want text along a path. I don't know how I got the area type. Text on a path. Let me try again. And I'm going to click text on a path. And let me try and I don't know if I want to click over there or over there. Let me try over here. USA. And so it's going around the outside. How do I get it to go on the inside? I'm going to use the tool that we had before, this one. Remember the tool we used to move the text around? And I'm going to drag it. Let me think. No, there's a keyboard command I want to use. No, I know there's a way to get it on the inside. Hold on. No. I definitely didn't want that. Yeah?
Yeah, there's on the opposite side, there's a line you just read.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And drag it in?
Yep.
Oh, there you go. USA, there we go. Boy, that was tricky. So on the opposite side, totally opposite of where your text is, there was a little line. It's right here. So it's kind of opposite where you clicked, right? See how I clicked here? It's opposite. And then drag it in. Thank you. And then let's put some space in there. And then let's move it around. Ah. Try and get it so it's even somehow. Then, of course, the last one is the circle on the very outside. We need one more on the very outside here. And I think I use 4-point stroke. And then we just need to build our rocket ship and put it inside. So in my video demonstration that's on Angel for this week, I actually bring in a airplane, and I kind of draw the airplane as an example for this. And so if you look at the Okay, so again, I want to draw a more geometric. I like this ship because it's kind of on an angle.
So
it's not
I go over how to
straight on,
draw
straight down, straight
the
forward.
airplane.
What's the hardest thing would be if the plane is coming right at you because you wouldn't see much.
So one of the things I draw when I draw it is, of course, using the
So if I was going to draw this
Pathfinder.
plane, I would click on it. Once I click on it, I get a larger version.
Okay, I'm not going to go over all of it because we're going to run out of time. We got like 20 minutes left. So let's just quickly go over how to draw kind of an airplane using some of the techniques of the Pathfinder. Some of the techniques for the Pathfinder. So in this case, let me move my my stuff over here. And let me make a new layer. I'm going to make a new layer. And I'm going to call it ship. Maybe draw a SpaceX, right? I don't know what SpaceX looks like, but SpaceX. Okay, so one of the things you could do is you can use the pen tool to make some basic shapes and then combine those shapes together. In this case, I'm going to kind of make a space shuttle looking shape first. And it doesn't look like much now, but if I use my pen tool, I can give I can give it a fin, and maybe another fin, maybe a wing, and maybe another wing. Okay, so you get the idea. I have a basic, whatever you would call it, basic ship. All it is triangles and a shape. So by making something like that, we can combine them all together into one object, right? That's what I wanted to cover using the Pathfinder. You've already seen the Pathfinder before when we did the wheel, the clog thing, right? Well, think of using that tool. You know, I have a basic rocket ship kind of shape, whatever you want to call it. And now I can actually combine these together into one object to make it look like, make it look like it's one object. Okay, so to do that, I use the Pathfinder feature. So the easiest way to go about it is you don't need to select all the objects at first, because for the wing that's on this side over here, I'm not really going to I don't want this to be, I want to keep this black line because this is the edge of the rocket ship right here. But for this one, this triangle right here and the main body, I want to combine these together. To do that, I can select them, and what I want to do is I could use the Pathfinder in a couple different ways. If I hit the Unite, it'll give me that kind of shape. Okay, but I'm missing where the kind of where the wing would combine to the edge of the ship. So that might not look right. Let me undo that. Minus front will cut a hole in it. That's not what I want to do. Let's see. This one is intersect, where the two combine together. It only left where the two combine together, so I don't want to do that. This one right here is exclude. What did that do? Well, the exclude kind of, where the two shapes over top, it kind of made new shapes. These are new shapes now. Let's see what I mean. If I use the direct selection tool, and let me zoom in here. If you use this option right here, what it does is it kind of splits the objects up. Like this object now is all by itself, and this object is all by itself. Well, actually, these two are together. And so what's in the middle here is transparent. So that's not what I want either. So I'm going to undo exclude. Let's try another one. This one right here is divide. Let's see what that does. This is one object now, and this is another object now.
and this is still, so wherever they overlap, it made them all separate objects. No, that's not what I want to do either. Let's see this one. Trim. Oh, didn't do anything. Trim. Don't know why that one's not working. Let's see this one. Merge. Uh-oh. Maybe because of my objects. Let me try again. Merge. No, I can't merge. I can unite. Maybe they're not over top of each other. Crop? No, I don't want to do that. Outline? No, I don't want to do that. What's this one? Minus back. No. I guess because they don't have a fill to them. Maybe give them a fill. Rocket ship color. There we go. Merge. Yeah, puts them all in there. So this is fill only, that's why. And it got rid of the stroke. That's why. So these two need, it looks like they need a fill to be able to do them, these two right here. And the reason why it wasn't working is because I only had stroke only. So I don't know which one will work. Let's do this one. Boom. There we go. There's a wing. And there's a wing here. Let's do it maybe for this. Notice when you use the Pathfinder 2, it brings it in front of everything else. So let's bring this one up. Bring to front. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. So let's combine some colors with that. Let's combine some colors for this. Remember, using your eyedropper to select a color is a good way to go. I want to use the same color I have here in this triangle shape here. Using your eyedropper, you can suck up, there we go, and suck up this color. There we go. What else do we want to do? Well, I guess we have to have a window for my Peepa to look out. Put a window in there. There we go. There we go. It looks like a whale now, the triangle whale. And then maybe some engines for my rocket ship. And then, of course, they're going to Mars. They're going to be going really fast, right? How are they going to get to Mars, anyways? Is it going to be nuclear fusion or what? There we go. And then let's group our whole object together as a group. And then let's put it over top. One of the things you might want to consider doing is overlapping the edge. There we go. So it goes over top of the outside of the seal. If you look at any of the seals on the NASA website, a lot of times the objects will go over top of the edge. Look at that. And then, of course, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit. Do you remember my dingbats that I downloaded last class? Dingbats. They're still in there. My dingbats are in there. Where's my dingbats? Dingbats. Dingbats. What are dingbats? Remember the dingbats are the little symbol? Wingdings and things like that. Well, I downloaded some alien ones, I think. There they are. And so I don't know what letter corresponds to which one, but I can put them in. There we go. There we go. Which one is this? Oh, there we go. One is an alien. C is an alien. There he is. Yes. And let's make him, oh, purple. There he is. Alien. He's surfing on the spaceship. Okay. So, for your seal though, I want you to draw something. Just don't use dingbats. I know it's cheating and easy to use dingbats. But try and draw something. Try and get some text to go along a path. And then if you want to add a dingbat to make it fun, then that's fine. But make sure you try and draw something. It doesn't make you any good just stealing things from the internet. You really need to practice the tools, practice the Pathfinder, practice the text along a path, and things like that. But remember, this was the dingbat we downloaded from last class.